City Hall has just announced its partnership with Airbnb and Women's Aid to launch an emergency accommodation programme for survivors of domestic abuse in London. In the first 7 months of this year alone, the Met Police recorded over 90,000 domestic abuse cases across the capital.
You couldn't understand why they did it, then they'd appear the following years really abused and have a facial fracture or, and even sometimes they don't want to go because they don't want it to be registered.
That was Anne Malone, an NHS wellbeing practitioner who has worked with domestic abused women. Through the scheme, up to 60 survivors and their children will be offered 2 weeks of free, safe accommodation in Airbnb properties across London, a lifeline for those escaping abuse. Figures from the Women's Aid organisation suggest that refuges in London are at a 60% refusal rate, meaning more than half of survivors who seek refuge are turned away. Anne Malone again.
And these women often did go back to their perpetrators again, partly because they haven't got anywhere else to go. It's a very difficult situation, not a very well documented or getting accurate statistics on it.
Journalist Rowan Pelling has been investigating the issue.
If someone has the courage to leave, which takes considerable courage and fear, desperately need available accommodation. And we don't quite have a system for that. We have a system for fostering children. We don't have a system for fostering families. This seems like a version of that, where you can give someone independence, a couple of weeks breathing space. I mean, it'd be great if it was longer, but it's a start.
City Hall said the pilot would run until the end of the year, and if successful may open the door to additional future projects. But with refuge spaces still critically low and demand only rising, for many survivors, finding safety in London remains far from guaranteed.